Welcome back to G Brands, brought to you by Harvey Norman. Harvey Norman has a huge range of next-gen AI PCs from the world's top brands, Microsoft, HP, Lenovo, Acer, and Asus, all powered by Snapdragon. I'm Andy Rowe, and I'm joined by All Blacks Justin Marshall and Israel Dagg, and Wallaby winner Jeremy Paul is in the studio as well. Later on in the show, we'll be joined by Marshy's old teammate, Ian Jones, is coming on the show, isn't he?
Yes, he is, which would be great. And he's got, it's really interesting when we get him on because he's running the AB's experience.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard a bad, this is poor, I haven't been through it yet. I don't know, have you been through it, Izzy?
Nah.
I've seen it. I don't feel so bad now.
No, it looks good.
But I've not heard a bad word. Like,
Nah.
apparently it's absolutely amazing. So he takes you on the tour and it's basically his job now. So he's going to talk us through that, and then obviously his thoughts on Bledisloe. So yeah, looking forward to having him on.
I am conscious that that's 3 All Blacks, and we do have the Wallaby winner in here. How many times did you win Bledisloe?
5.
Hang on.
Yeah, 5. 98 to 202. Man in the match in the last game we won. Just saying.
You weren't there when it.
Oh, man of the match.
You actually
got to be in the
You
match.
weren't there when it came back over here, were you?
No, 3. Yeah.
Oh.
No, when we lost. Yeah, no. No, I remember that. No,
You actually thought you'd won that.
There when we weren't there when we won 3-0 in 98, though.
No.
You were there.
I was there.
I was 10.
Oh, you were.
You actually thought you'd won that game in 2000 as well, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, no.
However, you didn't, did you?
No, I know that. No,
Next
no,
minute.
actually, it would be interesting to speak to Carmo about that, like what he thought about that. But I see all the All Black experience all over LinkedIn. And I actually want to go. It looks amazing. I can't wait to actually talk to him about it because I think when you're able to instill all the history and make it, I think it's the closest you can get to the haka, without actually being in front of the haka, that in itself. I mean, my 2-year-old, when I put the haka on the weekend, he was like glued to the TV.
Yeah.
They've
Same
just
with
bought
my wife as well. But anyway,
I think they've just bought some pretty significant jerseys back.
Yes,
from
they
somewhere.
have.
Yeah.
One of the 19...
Napiers, was it?
Was it something
Yeah, I
like
think it was
that?
George
Napiers.
Napiers, yeah.
Did they?
Fitzy's won from when they won, when you guys won, when you did the star jumps, and he did the banging on the ground.
jumps every time. You love that, don't you?
And it's quite funny.
Can you do us a
Yeah.
star
It's iconic.
Yeah, when I was actually thinking about it, like you think of like Iron Man, his entrance when he comes down and it's that fist. Boom. I could have done something a little bit better than that for a significant moment in our history rather than doing star jumps, couldn't I?
with your bright white wristbands.
That's what happens when we got no flavour.
Fitzy
We
doing
keep
this
it
on the
simple.
ground going. And I'm going in the background, look.
Bledisloe Cup. Let's give the
Yes.
Aussies some love because, as I said, there's going to be 3 All Blacks in total on this podcast.
I don't mind.
And then Mr. Wallaby winner over here
And
5
you.
times, and then me.
Played a bit of rugby in my
back in
time.
my day.
Played a
Tell
bit.
John Eels that he
That
knows.
was pretty good,
Hey,
actually.
look. We're not coming off an absolute hiding. Put it that way, right? Coming into this. Are you guys over that?
Thing
yet?
is, JP, I was
over.
I just said
I've
we'll give
moved
you
on.
some love. We'll give you some love, but
I had my
our
Sunday
love only
morning.
stretches so far.
that escalated.
Look, it's been a week, mate. We've moved on.
The whole country. The whole country.
Well,
is like
we're
moved
just
on.
excited because we know we've got you guys.
That's what you said about Argentina.
Oh, that's what you said about Argentina.
Oh, no, I know, man. Aren't they amazing? What an incredible championship, though, right? Like
So good.
Four teams in the top 6, which is actually crucial too. Let's not forget about the World Cup in 2027, the world rankings, where we will all sit with respect to the pools, right? Like that top, you've got to be in the top 6 to not be able to play against one of the top 6 people. So Bledisloe Cup, it's not just about the Bledisloe Cup for us. It's also about the world rankings as well.
This is Rain Man knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rain
no,
Man's already
that's-
thought. I know. It took me a bit because when he said 4 of the top 6, and people are thinking, is he talking about the rugby championship table?
I'm not even sure that made sense.
He's just thinking about World Cup rankings.
Yeah.
World Cup, you just think so far ahead.
No, but you guys are talking about the Bledisloe Cup as being like there's far bigger ramifications for us,
For sure.
Because we obviously like having a Rugby World Cup at home, like as you guys did, and when we
pretty
actually
important,
stole the other one off you in 03, I think, because you wouldn't get rid of your advertising. And when we had that in 03, the pressure, man, because you guys were supposed to beat us, right, in the semi-final. And so,
Not the intercept, was it?
yeah, it was. Yeah, mate,
I remember that.
Everyone was expecting.
I watched it.
Everyone was expecting. Oh yeah, that's right. 4 more years. That's right. Old Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
But it was massive, right? Like in terms of having a Rugby World Cup. Sorry, you guys had one again in 2011. That pressure, right? The pressure. So being in a good pool is everything.
Yeah.
And so obviously the Bledisloe Cup first. I did say many weeks ago, I thought if Australia could win one in South Africa, win both the Argentinian games, because it was at home, right? We obviously lost one, but to win one in Perth and then to be competitive in the Auckland game would be a very successful season for us. But I'm now thinking, because you guys got dusted up, that we're a chance in Auckland.
There is no doubt. There's no doubt, Marshy, that with James O'Connor in the fold for the Wallabies, they're a totally different team. You could see it in that last 15 minutes. They were down and out, 20-odd points down.
28-7, man, in the 64
28-7. He comes on, he
64
adds a bit of experience, some direction. He definitely added a lot of confidence to the group. You look at Andrew Callaway's try, like the running lines, Dalgunu, on the wing, like everything just clicked for them because they had a guy out there that is very vocal and has a great understanding of what is needed in those moments. He doesn't overplay his hand too. He's just standing and deliver majority of the time, but he's making those correct decisions. So, yeah, with him in the team, as long as Will's scouting, they're just such a
They're
good
different,
side.
different balance
different
about them,
balance.
isn't it? You bring that power of scouting up front, and then the offloading skills and the manipulation of James O'Connor. That's what I wanted to ask you about, because you would see it as an outside back, what he's doing to manipulate defenders. And we asked about it. I asked him about it in last week's show. I said, you really flattened up the attack. Like, he takes some shots for it.
Yeah.
But then we created the space for, like you said, in that particular test, Dangunu scored and Callaway got into space. So what you're saying is what you can see from an outside back of how a good manipulator at the line can create space for others.
Well, he's an option, isn't he? When you've got a 10 that isn't passing from 10 metres back and the defence is able to drift off and you double man coverage and you can't get a Suaalii with time and space on a one-on-one opportunity because those defenders have drifted off. With James at 10, like you see his first instinct, he's always taking that first step. And it's very simple too. Like, with the great 10s, their first movement's always forward. And then it's that 45-degree angle on the outside. Then you got to drop off. Then you got to hit that outside shoulder. You can take a little gap, or you can deliver that ball. And just subtle movements like that from James I saw on the weekend when he came on. Just that first step forward, locks in those defenders and creates opportunities for those guys outside.
I thought he also worked really well with Hunter Paisami as well, right? Like, that was the other thing about the selection in that second Argentinian game. Was Leonard Gitel, I think he had this crazy cut underneath, like hadn't healed from South Africa, so I think they gave him a week off. And so you're bringing in a 10-12, like new combination, right? Like you could sort of see half a yard, that pass just wasn't quite there with Joseph Suaalii. Yeah. Then obviously having Callaway as well, right? Like he's replaced Tom Wright, who's also injured. So the Wallabies have seen their fair share of injuries as well and disruptions. But it has been like you have that one anchor point, right? Like James O'Connor. Like doesn't matter who's around him coming in and out. Like if you've got that one guy that can direct everyone, you've kind of fall into place, right? Like and this again when he was on, they find gear 4 and 5. Like it's like they never. It was non-existent in the first 64 minutes. Yeah. Like and then all of a sudden, bang, like bang bang. Like
you look at that moment, test 1. You look at that moment when they have a deciding moment at the end of that test. James walks over to Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson makes the final call. James backs him, kicks an unbelievable kick into the corner. They start building pressure. They had so much belief to be able to score that try. That is 2 leaders that are leading from the front. And when you've got a young squad, and this Wallabies side is very
so young, mate.
Very young.
So young.
And already producing some fantastic rugby. You need the leaders to really step up in those moments. And James is doing that, and Harry Wilson, what a leader! Like honestly, did not think Harry would be the leader that he is today. A very unorthodox bloke, runs hard, wears his heart on his sleeve. But when you got a skipper that is making good calls and the right calls and brave calls, you got to sit back and commend that, and people want to follow that.
Isn't it funny? Like I love how you made that point because someone asked me about it, and I've been interviewed on the radio. I said, actually, yes. Obviously, massive, big balls from Harry Wilson to do. But actually, the next step for this side is where Harry Wilson turns to his line-out captain, or his forward captain, go, "Have we got this?" And yep, let's go for the sideline. Like it's not his. The great skippers of our generations, of my time anyway, had great leaders, had other great leaders to lean on, right? Like, and that's, I suppose, everyone's sort of looking at Harry and going, wow. But realistically, where a side needs to get to is where he can just turn around. Because Greg's used to go to us, like, go, "Mate, how are we going?" We go, "Mate, take the points."
Tired.
This one, like, you're spitting out a seagull. Yeah. Like, and so, or you'd go, "Yeah, man, we got him. Like, let's have a scrum. We got him."
I think that's what one thing, like, you think 6 years ago?
Yeah.
The Wallabies would have kicked for points, 100%. Taken a draw and walked off with a draw, and they would have been appreciative of that. But I think
2 years ago, bro.
Yeah, or 2 years ago. Like, and you think now this Wallabies team, they got a victory out of it, but it's more than that. I think it's like the inspiring point of view over there in Australia. Like, people are starting to believe, people are starting to follow. I'm here in New Zealand and I'm seeing it, and I'm getting caught up in the moment and the hype, and it's so good. So I think Harry just knew, like, yeah, we could go for the draw and everyone will be happy, but what would a result do? And the result blew up the socials.
Yeah, didn't it? Big time.
It really did.
I think the good thing, like, obviously both teams coming off a loss has created that inevitable doubt. Yeah, it has to happen, because it's like both teams ultimately failed. Like, you didn't get pumped like us, but both teams are still lost. So that then creates reaction by coaches, by people questioning selections, questioning game plan, all that sort of stuff. So we're both kind of in a similar position. We're a little worse off than what you are, leading to this particular weekend's game. But
four tries to 1, lost to us.
yeah, exactly. I think you're
penalties
more,
though. We'll be on the right side of the penalty.
we're on the right side. We've got better discipline.
14-7. Wow.
But it's created the way the Wallabies have been going, and obviously this Bledisloe, it's probably the most exciting
easy
test match for quite a long time, isn't it? But I was going to ask you, did you ever play like we did back in the day in a 3-test Bledisloe Cup series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of mine were 3 tests.
Yeah, were they? Yeah, okay.
One here, one away, or it was either 2
Which is harder,
one
man,
away. Yeah, we actually played 2 away. I mean, we played in Sydney, and then we went back to Australia, and then the end of the year we played in Brisbane. So we gave them 2 opportunities.
Oh, because you also had Hong Kong too there at one stage, didn't you? The third one used to be
I think the
Hong
Brisbane
Kong.
one we drew. We might have drew 18 or
That's
Jose Guerra on the
right.
wing. Like,
yeah.
Every time we played in Brisbane, it was a tough place to play. But yeah, they were always
3
tests. So we gave the Wallabies 3 chances, JP.
Well, mate, we had to win twice, and
I guess that's the hard thing. And there's been a bit of debate about it, actually, to be honest, hasn't there? That it's like, well, okay, when it is 3 test matches, then it is harder for the retainer to be able to secure the Bledisloe Cup, because ultimately this weekend Australia just have to win, or draw, obviously, to try and win it in Australia in Perth.
Yeah. So, do you know actually statistically what Australia have done? They've now booked in more 3-test series against like the European sides, because they've found statistically that fans will actually come to like a 3-test series rather than playing different sides.
It's way cooler because you get invested in the opposition, because you start learning who the other players are. If you're a fan. And I think, Izzy, when you did the 3-test series, it was never like a back-to-back 3-test series, was it? It was some weird thing where you'd play your rugby championship games and then one on the way over to the UK, or like it was all a little bit.
We played. I think we played the first 2 back-to-back.
Yeah,
I remember back in the day we'd play in Australia, we'd play at the Olympic Stadium, and then we'd come back and we'd always take them back to Eden Park.
Yeah.
Because we knew that.
Oh, what? You just
I don't know if that was a part of the scheduling, but we always took them back there. But you'd play 2, and then there was one later in the year towards the end of rugby championship, would have to go do a big tour. But I never played, I know I'm going off topic here, but I never played South Africa back-to-back, and I can't imagine how difficult that would have been.
Yeah, it's tough,
maybe
particularly over there, man. Particularly playing 2 games in South Africa. But that's where you always, like, from an Australian player's point of view, though, and sort of said this at nauseum when the French were here, you knew where you were at when you won in New Zealand. Like, that was your yardstick, right? Like, as a player. whether it be in Super Rugby or whether it be obviously in Test match rugby. That and obviously going over to South Africa and winning over there as well. You always knew where your confidence was or where you were as a player and as a team. So we actually have seen, like, over the last couple of years, Australian sides actually winning more in Super Rugby. So that confidence level too, like, I think has also, sort of, I suppose, spilled into the Test arena. I mean, it's not the same game, but like it's that mental block, right, of coming here to New Zealand and actually winning.
Brumbies won there this year.
In
Super.
Yeah.
First time. I
Crusaders.
remember Stephen Larkham basically
the
being
Reds.
in tears.
The Reds, yes, against Auckland, right?
Yeah.
We hadn't won there since 2011
I know.
or something like that. And I think that.
Do you think that'll be helpful for those Brumbies players that are in that Australian side to say, hey, look, at the end of the day, we hadn't won here in that amount of time, but, just get stuck in and you can do it?
Yeah, 100%. Look, it's like anything, right? Like, confidence will breed confidence. Like, if you do something that will, give you confidence in terms of winning, particularly here, because it's tough, mate, no matter
what is the deal with Eden Park for visiting teams, JP? Because you've done it. Like, what is it? Like, why is it such a
look? It probably wasn't as big back in, because again, it's 25 years. Like, when we lost in 2003 was in Eden Park.
Talk me through as a visiting player.
It wasn't as big back in my day. Like, there wasn't this. It was only 10, 15 years or something, right? Because you got to.
1986 was the last time the Wallabies won there.
1986. There you go. I was playing 2003, so it's only 15 years. Like, and it wasn't this big thing about Eden Park, right? Like, add another 25 years on top of that, or 20 years on top of that now, like, the record is far bigger.
I don't know what it is.
No, you know what? Far out. I'll my podcast, mate, so you got to be the guest. Or our podcast. But
It's all you,
my
right?
place.
No, because I wanted to ask you that question, because I've been asked it heaps of times,
same.
and I don't really know what to say. It's because people say, hey, mate, you're an All Black. What is it about Eden Park? And I'm like, so is he? What is it about Eden Park?
I love playing everywhere, but something about Eden Park, I don't know. Like, when you play in New Zealand, it's great because we are New Zealand's team. We love to share the love, but you're on the road constantly, and I guess for me, it's a home away from home. Up there you have the same hotel, you've got the same hotel staff that feel like family, like your mums. You go to the same training grounds, you go to the same gym. So there's a lot of familiarity about the entire week. And I think there's nothing in particular about the stadium, but I think it's just
the
the
changing
week.
rooms or anything, is there? No.
There's nothing that's really big or I can lean on in regards to Eden Park. But I guess when something has never been done for a very long time, mentally it probably creates a bit more of a cycle in your mind, that the job actually becomes greater than probably what it is, because people are constantly thinking about what is it, this Eden Park. So when you're constantly thinking about something, it becomes bigger than it really is. You know what I mean?
And actually, as players, but say opposition, look, we don't actually give a fuck. Like, there is absolutely no hoodoo, no anything about Eden Park. Like, please take the Wallabies win in Alice Park. We haven't seen 62 years.
Man.
And actually a bigger one in 2001 when the Wallabies beat New Zealand in Dunedin. It was 101 years. The Wallabies hadn't won there.
What, in Dunedin?
In Dunedin.
So a lot of history has been broken this year. What are you saying?
It's coming on.
Get out of here.
I was just thinking about it as well, because I was thinking, like, historically, there's been a few things that have started to go wrong in the last 2 to 3 years, hasn't there? Never been beaten by these, and never been beaten here, and it's like, but that motivation was easy, wasn't it, as a player? Because it's like, not on my fucking watch. This isn't happening. Not because then you have irretrievably changed history.
Because you're on the opposite side, right?
So every time the All Blacks go out to Eden Park, that's your watch.
Yes,
correct. Your watch.
Correct. You don't want to be the team that loses.
No way.
You don't want to lose.
It's even you got the Bledisloe Cup. That was always in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Every time, out of everything, bar William Webb Ellis, you wanted to have a sip out of the Bledisloe Cup because of the history, because of the heartache that you guys caused us for a lot of years, the heartbreak from John Eels of Wellington, everything that's attached with that trophy.
Yeah.
So, look, it's going to be a hell of a series, a hell of a couple of games against the Australians, and probably the first time, no disrespect, that I have been nervous. You're a great side, mate. Like, you've had a series against the British and Irish Lions that has done absolute wonders for not only your team, your players, but your nation.
Oh, mate.
They are on board with what
And we're 60 million out of debt.
a hell of a paycheck too.
And our bank account as well. Like,
And
that
then
was
you
huge.
go to South Africa and you go over there and produce one of the most remarkable results there at Ellis Park. A hard place to play,
man.
Oh,
and then
how
come
bad.
so close. Even second week, you think, okay, South Africa are going to get on top of this Wallabies side. They ain't going to be upset twice. And you got 8 points in that second test.
Mate, Tom Wright injured in the first 4 minutes. I
You make
thought,
it
mate, I
so
thought
competitive.
Well, it was an unbelievable effort. I thought the Cape Town effort was just as bigger than the Ellis Park one because of all the disruptions, right? Like, losing Tom Wright in the first 4 minutes, that was huge, absolutely massive. But that backing up, right? Like, that's where you go to this next level.
Do the Wallabies have the tight five to mix it with the All Blacks?
Mate,
That's
not
my
o-
question.
not only do we have the tight five. Look, obviously with Will Skilton, if we had him in the Bledisloe Cup, it would be. He just instills so much confidence. Like Tupu had an interview before the Argentina game, and he was asked about Will, and he said, "Look, it's another 20 to 30 kilos in the scrum, man," and he just gives so much confidence to the other players. When Will plays, everyone follows.
Okay, so look, you haven't got him, but you were really proactive in your praise for Salakai Loto,
Yeah.
and he came back in. So do you think he's a chance to start against the All Blacks?
No, look, I think they'll go back to Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Look, I thought they missed Nick's mobility around the field. He does a lot of work, man. He's got a really good motor, a really, really good motor. And his line-out work, actually, his defensive line-out work is incredibly good. Look, Jeremy Williams, I think they're very similar players, him and Nick Frost, like line-out callers, line-out like mobility. Then you got someone like Tom Hooper and Salakai Loto and Will Skilton, like that kind of bigger body, more physicality type thing. You're never going to be able to replace. But I think, look, I think having Salakai Loto on the bench, man, for that last sort of 20-30, like you did on the weekend again, against Argentina, where 16 minutes, man, we scored 19 points, 3 tries. So, and he was a part of it. He might not have had the big flashy runs, but he did this really good charge down, put a lot of pressure around the base of the ruck. That's what he does, right? He's one of those big niggly guys. So a lot of counter rucking. So I think they got that balance right, like in terms of second row.
Okay, well, one of because I need to get Izzy's thoughts on this. JP's got 2 man crushes.
Yeah.
Fraser McWright
Yeah.
and Joseph Suali.
Okay.
Joseph Suali.
Yeah.
Centre, wing, fullback, and your thoughts.
I've been
on
harping
him.
on about to get him outside,
Yeah?
with that pace and everything. But the last couple of weeks, I think he's starting to find his feet in the centres.
Yeah.
Some of those tries, you've got that league background. What does league bring you is real directness at the line, an ability to shift inside, outside shoulder. He's a big man, so when you're looking to do those little crossfield kicks, majority of the time goes to the winger, so you can do a little short one. They do a lot in the league. They try and hit that gap between the fullback and the wing. That's a perfect opportunity for him, and I think he's starting to grow in the game. So for me, watching the Wallabies and how they're performing and how they're using him, I think centre's his position right now. He's come a long way, and he's starting to believe, and I think that's what I've really seen with this group is they're starting to all believe that they belong at this level and the international level. And just following on from your conversation, I think that has been where the biggest growth has been with the Wallabies is in the forward pack. You've got an enforcer out there that is, if it's not Will Skelton, you're bringing in Rob Valentini, who's coming around the
Bobby
corner off
V.
a short ball off
Harry
Nick
Wilson.
White, Harry Wilson off the back fence. But you also got fetchers in the game that are great over the ball. Hooper, McWright, everyone is doing their job. You got James Slipper that is doing little offloads, his mobility around the park. So I think that's where the biggest growth, because for me personally, when I played Australia, I always knew we could match them skillfully in the backs. But I knew we always had the upside in the forwards. And that's no disrespect to the forwards that they had back then, but we just had class. We had a set piece that we could operate on. We had a line out that we had some magicians in there. So we always knew that over time we could wear this team down, kick to the corner, go to our rolling maul, get our set piece and our set attack and play and get on top of the Wallabies. Now, with Mike Cron and what I've seen in the last couple of months, bit unsure. You're going to have to work for the full 80 and try and find other ways to beat this team
Here's
up.
a super technical question for you then, for all those rain men out there. So Joseph Sua'ali'i, rugby league background. He's used to blitz defence. Players coming outside and turning in on him, and that's how he manipulates defenders. Would you defend him with drift? Just let him have a bit of time, then you can get sort of two. If he doesn't hard hit you at the line, he's looking to footwork you with that big stride, isn't he? And then get an offload away. So, like, how would you defend him?
Oh, it's a tough one. I know what you're saying. I show him a different picture, and then maybe he'll have to think and try and it might buy time for those.
And he might get quite lateral.
Yeah, he might get lateral. Try and beat the guy on the outside, or if he steps back, that'll allow opportunity for those inside defenders to get up and put pressure on him. Or do you go to the line? Like for me personally, if I was marking him and I was a horrible defender, but what I would do, and I did it every single time, is try and take their time and space away.
Time and space.
You know, like for a Joseph Sua'ali'i, the more time and space he has, I feel like that's the more opportunities and momentum. Those big long limbs. He's got a hell of a right foot step on him. Reminds me of Israel Folau. He can offload the game, offload the ball. A great skill set. So. Maybe for the All Blacks in this weekend's performance, they just got to try and throw some different pitches at him. Maybe some pitches he hasn't seen, you know, maybe just starting on the inside, late shift on the outside shoulder, so he has to second guess whether to go inside or outside.
Exactly.
Try and get into his mind.
You shut him down earlier, right? Like we saw Len Ikitau, he would truck it up, mate. He was trucking it up a lot, right? Like because simply the defences were too quick outside to get it out to Joseph Sua'ali'i. But I think the thing on the last game against Argentina that I think he's very much catch and pass at the moment, right? Like, but we actually saw him hold the ball and go. Like when we do see him go, so we haven't actually seen him go a lot. Like
Pomeroy's try. British Irish line?
No.
That was a go.
Wasn't it? Yeah, I know, but on the weekend he was like catch pass, like Callaway's try. Like he's more about the catch and pass because I think he's actually a bit conscious about like being selfish.
Being a hog.
Do you know
but
he's
going to attract defenders though as well, isn't he? So he's got to be able to do that.
Correct, but like you know when you are a marquee player, like Howard couldn't play on your mind that like you've got to shift, like don't look like a hog. If I'm sure as a 21-year-old...
That'll come with time, bro.
I'm sure as a 21-year-old kid, because everyone's also forgetting he's fucking 21. Like he's not an old man. Like he's a kid.
Year.
Yeah, mate, he's a kid.
You ever played the All Blacks before?
Never played.
That's what I thought about. I was like, man, this is a...
He's
Joseph
never played the All
He's
Blacks.
coming to New Zealand and take on the All Blacks.
He's obviously played Super, but he's never played the All Blacks.
Wow, never stood in front of a haka, Eden Park. Mate, I remember that first blackout in 99 when we ran out. Like, it was so dark. Like I remember running out. I've actually got a picture of you. Like I think I was trying to push you off. I think I.
No, you wouldn't have.
No,
Did you get him off?
I'm pretty sure I did. He wouldn't have.
But I'll be hanging on to collars and all sorts, fat rolls, God knows what.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, eh?
That was a crazy game, man.
Running out. I remember the very first blackout and the whole stadium went black, like because they had those pictures or something, or they were given. Yeah. Like and when they flipped them over and when we come running out, it was like what? Screaming, like man, it's pretty intense.
How'd that result go for you, JP?
Oh no, we got smacked.
Yeah, I thought so.
Then we reversed it in Sydney, but that was just before the 99 World Cup, right? Like, so it was all about momentum. So that's the other thing too, right, with the Bledisloe. Like, it's not just about this year, it's also going into future years as well, that momentum. But, like, I don't think we've actually been placed better in terms of confidence, winning games going into a Bledisloe Cup game. Like this...
From when I could remember,
No, not for well over a decade, right? Like that 2011, 15. Remember before the Rugby World Cup?
Yeah, you beat us in Sydney.
No, remember Czech changed the whole entire side.
That's right.
And it was like,
But then
everyone
Richie's
was like,
last game, he got pumped. Remember Dane Cole scored that try?
pumped. Oh, he made 8 changes, right, to the side. But it was about, because it was his first year, but it was about building depth for the Rugby World Cup. But obviously for Joe Smith, it's not about that. Like, James O'Connor, for me, should have been playing the entire time.
It is time now for this week's Harvey Norman Next Gen Moment of the Week. Harvey Norman is stacked with Next Gen AI PCs from Microsoft, HP, Lenovo, Acer, and Asus, all powered by Snapdragon. And this week, we're talking battery life, aren't we, Marshy?
We are talking battery life, and it's incredibly important. Like the ability for something to give longevity, for something to stay in the fight, you know, and that's what battery life is all about. When you need it, it's there. And when it was needed for the Wallabies, George Gregan had it. In the dying moments of a test match.
Oh, we're going back.
We're going way back.
He did have
had
good
it
battery
in
life.
spades. The All Blacks all over the Wallabies trying to basically win the test match in the dying moments of a game. And George Gregan still had the energy. He still had some battery left
Don't bring it
in
up.
that body of his to get come out of nowhere.
You're not talking about that moment, are you?
Jeff Wilson going for the try line. And here he comes. Gregan with here. George Gregan with here. And he manages to jolt the ball free and deny the All Blacks an historic, famous last gasp victory.
God, he was an angry little bugger, wasn't he? He's so
just
angry.
give it up, George. Just let it go. But battery life is about not giving up and keep the gift that keeps on giving.
Just like the Snapdragon powered laptops with up to 22 hours of battery life, unplugged and unstoppable. These AI PCs sip power while keeping performance sky high. For performance that lasts, head to your local Harvey Norman today. Izzy, thanks for coming on, mate.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Izzy.
Did I just pump the Wallabies up all day?
No,
Yeah,
you were good.
The
You were good.
Wallabies, eh?
Because, you know, there's nothing better than a confident Wallabies. You know, like, you guys are real good. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
you guys-
brother.
I tell you what,
we
there's
know.
nothing,
great.
there's nothing better
It's your time.
than a couple of wounded All Blacks, right, that don't know what the fuck to do after being beaten 43-10.
Hey, we didn't get beaten.
Yeah.
Did you get
There's
beaten?
only way back.
I didn't get
You're
beaten.
talking to us. It was those other guys.
Wasn't me.
Eh? He's never lost the Bledisloe Cup.
No.
Eh?
Actually, I'll give you a stat. I've never lost to Australia.
Whoa!
I only had one draw.
One draw.
Kim
then-
Lamu's 100th in Brisbane.
And you were 70, how many tests?
66.
66
How many,
tests,
how
never
many
lost
tests?
to
How
Australia.
many tests? How many Bledisloe Cup games then?
35?
Yeah, well,
No.
played over.
what did we
Yeah,
play?
I
I
think I
played
beat us.
17.
Yeah, not 12 times.
Oh wow,
I don't actually know how many times.
that's
But
One
impressive.
World Cup
That's
semi-final.
impressive.
You know what the worst thing is, though?
I just had to get that one in there
Oh,
before
no,
I go.
no,
eh?
But to balance that out, I think I'm one of the worst losing All Blacks to the Wallabies
Oh.
in 81 tests.
Oh, yeah.
I am. Yeah, there's a stat out there. I'm easily in the top 5, if not in the top 3.
Mate.
But, mate, I played against the greatest Wallaby team.
No,
Yeah,
easily.
man.
Well, no,
Ever.
because so I actually left the game. I found this out at a lunch. I've got the highest win record of Wallaby history.
You didn't just find that out. This is like the 71th time you've told us this.
71.9% or something.
Is it?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah, winning, and I think that a lot of that was against him back in 98 to 2000.
I was injured for most of those
Surprised
games.
it's only taking you this long to bring that up.
He actually mentions it all the time.
Does he?
Yeah, he just pretends that he's something new. Yeah.
So what Wallaby win? You reckon?
No.
No, shit, no.
No.
Izzy,
no chance.
thanks very much, mate. You've been,
Thanks,
been a
Iz.
pleasure. Thanks
Appreciate
very
it.
much for coming on. We're going to get the great Ian Jones on now.
Yes.
We've got him waiting in the waiting room online. So
Beautiful.
we'll have a chat with him. From one All Blacks legend to another, we've got Ian Jones. How are you, mate?
Andy, I'm bloody fantastic. Yeah, didn't make the cut to sit with you boys down there, but beaming in from the 09.
Mate, tell us about the boys were just pumping up. Marshy's been telling me about the All Blacks experience and how it's you can do that. You can go and watch the haka. You
Yeah.
guys show them through. It sounds amazing. I've been seeing it on social media as well. Looks epic.
Mate, it is fantastic. It's about legacy. That's what it is, boys. Even JP knows the legacy of the All Blacks. It's about the power of that team, the connection with that team. We take people through this incredible New Zealand story of how do you make an All Black, man? How do you make the Matara kid right there, Justin Marshall, by fucking letting them love our game, hooking them into this game of rugby that we all fucking cherish. That's how you make an All Black, and then we take them through how do you shape that love. We get the competitive juices flowing so you can play games against each other. But the main thing I think that you boys love, and I know the main thing the Wallaby fans coming over for this huge game will love, is actually what does it feel like being, for us, an All Black. Yep, you can put on your green and gold and feel what it's like being a Wallaby fan in the Eden Park locker rooms. Like, you're going to emulate what the All Blacks and the Wallabies are doing the next day, on the Saturday of the game. You're going to sit in Eden Park. And JP, did I say that is a ground that the All Blacks haven't lost since 1994? So, sitting there in this freaking incredible theatre, then walk down the tunnel to face the haka, which the Wallabies were doing, that coming weekend. And mate, when you face the haka, as Marshall will tell you, it's not 15 v 15. When this country's connected, boys, it's 5 million Kiwis against 15 Wallabies.
God, the juice is flowing.
I love it, Carmo. Actually, John Eels would do, like, obviously not similar, but he had like this event where, like, pre-game, obviously big lunch, guest speakers, but he'd also get him out on the field where he took that kick when he won the Bledisloe Cup, like for us in Wellington. So he'd get people who were coming on the experience to take that kick as well. Is it?
What kick are you talking about?
The one that he kicked?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's a race from my memory.
Anyway, like, so in terms of like getting that real sort of fan experience, but come on, I'd love to hear like what your thoughts about this Wallaby like.
Hang on a minute.
What?
You've just gone straight past. We're talking about the All Blacks experience, and you've gone on to John Eels, who, by the way, Carmo dominated, and we're talking, and then you're talking about the Wallabies experience, kicking a goal that everyone's forgotten about.
No, I want to get a legend.
What we're wanting people to do, coming over here from Australia, we want to get them test match ready. Mate, how do you get test match ready? You come in and you just face the haka. And that will fire everyone up to go to Eden Park and just kind of be fully immersed in that.
When you're facing the haka at the All Blacks experience, like, how is that different from seeing it on TV?
Because they're in your face. It's the power. They are looking you face to face in the eye. You are eyeball to eyeball. You're standing like JP did on the 10-metre line facing the All Blacks. The only difference is most of our guests stand there staunch, not like JP. He used to take his
Man, I was a little mouldy boy from Ngunnawai here watching and respecting. I used to love the haka. I used to sing both national anthems.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So I used to sing the New Zealand national anthem underneath, right? Obviously in my brain. Very proud of my Māori heritage. But what I was saying, sorry, Carmo, before about this Wallaby resurgence is it now puts a lot more spice or just so much more interest within this Bledisloe Cup because the Wallabies might be a chance. like we haven't seen the Wallabies play like this in such a long time where even New Zealand fans are like going, I'm actually really enjoying the way the Wallabies are playing. Like, what's your view on all this, Carmo?
Well, do they believe it? Do they believe they've got a chance at Eden Park? I mean, seriously, do they believe it?
Well, that's the
some
big
young,
difference, right?
experienced players there. They're coming to this ground that, has a history, but it has a history for a reason. So, I mean, you can talk it up in your chair there and say that the All Blacks have lost their aura. They're not as powerful as they were.
I never said that. I never said that.
But you actually got to believe all of that, right? Mm-hmm. So unless you truly believe you can beat the All Blacks anywhere, I don't think you got a chance, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point.
At Eden Park, and that's just about mindset, JP. A lot of your great teams absolutely had that mindset that they could beat the All Blacks, and they went out there with that intent. I don't know, mate. The All Blacks aren't going to allow, in my opinion, the Wallabies to settle into that game. And if you can't settle into a rhythm at Eden Park, she's a tough place to play.
Come on, two-pronged question here because, again, my fascination with this All Black experience, because I was in and around the All Black experience for the Springbok test at Eden Park, and there was a lot of Springbok supporters around, and I bumped into a few of them in the area, and they just couldn't believe how amazing it was in terms of being able to, like you said, do the tunnel, do the big screen in front of the haka, etc. But it'd be nice to hear from you I guess, about what it was like for you as a player back in the day, playing for the Bledisloe Cup.
And that's, I guess, what we're trying to do at the All Blacks Experience, share our story, our journey. And your journey, Marshy, so different than my journey. Your preparation when you're sitting in the locker rooms at Eden Park before you hear that knock on the door is so different than mine. You know, great players are there, really clear of mind and can't wait to get out there. Other players, and there'll be some in this game, I know I was one of them from time to time, your brain's muddled. It's thinking all of these thoughts. What am I doing here? Can I live up to the expectation, the legacy? What's my role? And in players that we see at this Bledisloe Cup game, we'll be thinking like that, some of them, but some are really clear. And that's often the difference between good and great.
Is that what happens? Is you're in the changing room and you kind of like you could hear a knock on the door? Because that would, I got a bit nervous when you were talking about that. I was like, oh, imagine that you're in the changing rooms underneath Eden Park. You know there's a big crowd out there, and then you hear like.
Yeah, well, Andy, what will happen in the Bledisloe Cup? A couple of minutes before kickoff, all the management go. You're just the players inside that room, just you and your teammates. Your brothers going to war. You do hear that knock. Time, 1 minute, and then there's that last chance to get together. As I say, some leaders may say something, others will be having some real doubts. I want people to stand in our locker room and think, would I be a great or would I just be good? Is this where I belong? Or is it better me watching this from the grandstands? That's exactly what you feel. This is
Just happy to be here, lads.
It's not simulated any better. Yeah, and Andy, where you are is probably where you should be.
Oh, God.
Guilty. Guilty.
You've got to hear the John Hill story about him then, Carmo, because obviously you and him went hammer and tongs over a number of test matches. But yeah, Andy made the mistake of saying that he was quite a good rugby player to John Hills. You know, the greatest Australian rugby player ever.
I didn't. I said I used to play back when I played. He's like, hey, but how good were you?
Carmo, could you somehow do a virtual or something, even a cardboard thing of the Bledisloe Cup for the Australians, just so they can actually see what it looks like outside of the New Zealand Rugby Union? You know,
Well, yeah, absolutely, Marshy. Often, this is outside the Bledisloe Cup games, we can get it. It's a look, don't touch with our Aussie fans coming through.
Camo, thank you so much for coming on the show,
Camo.
mate. That was awesome. It's got me pumped.
Oh, we got to direct all the Wallaby fans coming over, right, for the All Black for the Bledisloe Cup game on a Friday, like Friday morning.
Yep.
Go through the All Black experience. Go and have some lunch at the Viaduct. What a great day on a Friday.
JP, I'll just say one last thing. There's also a retail store, so come over here. Buy an All Black jersey for your Kiwi colleagues back in Australia, and I'll look after them in the retail store.
Oh, nice, because I've got to buy my son some. Like my wife wants a couple of All Black jerseys.
Yeah, well, come and see me, mate. I'll look after you.
Thank you, Carmo.
Thanks, Camo. Cheers, mate. How good was that? Camo.
Oh,
What have we got, Andy?
I've got a wee
what are you going to
quiz.
smirk on your face for?
I can just see the future a little bit. I just want to see. I want to bring out the competitive nature of you boys. I've got a wee Bledisloe Cup quiz.
Oh, here we go.
Do you want to play?
I'd love to.
Do we have time?
Oh, I'm useless at this stuff, but anyway, I do want to play because I love a challenge.
Okay. So, question one.
What is this? Is this a buzzer situation?
Say your name first. Say your name first.
No. Let's just blurt it out.
Just blurt it out.
Okay, blurt it out. Question one. Marshy's a picture of concentration. You don't want to lose this. Who donated the Bledisloe Cup, giving its name to the trophy?
Lord Bledisloe.
Boom. Marshy, 1-0.
That was easy.
Question two. I'll accept two answers for the following. How many beers does it take to fill up the Bledisloe
52.
Cup?
No, mate, no. I put 48 in it and it barely touched it, mate. I put 2 cases in it.
So
it was like,
the answer
it's way
is
more.
52 Steinlager bottles.
Thank you.
Mate.
Or 48 stubbies.
Hey, mate.
Mate, I spent all afternoon double checking this.
This is a
I-
quiz.
wrong.
You can't go along to
You're
a
wrong.
quiz
That's
and then accuse the person that's
That's
doing
wrong,
the
mate.
quiz.
I was the youngest. I held on to the Bledisloe and I put 2 cases in it and didn't even go past halfway.
Is it possible that Rain Man got his numbers wrong on that
Never. And
particular
equally,
occasion?
Qantas never crashes.
we should know, mate. We should know. Like we've been filling it up for the last.
Not in my era.
You have
17
no idea, JP. It's been 50 years. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Question
It could have
3.
changed in size. You guys wouldn't know.
Question 3. What was the time on the clock when Australia were given a penalty that led to John Neal's series?
86th.
87th minute.
86. It's the 86th.
I will take 86.
Yeah.
You're on the board. 1-1. Question
Jonathan Kaplan,
4.
Love you.
What was the time on the clock when Wallabies fly past Stephen Larkham kicked the ball into touch in the lead up to that penalty?
It was the 84th.
84th.
83 minutes were on the clock, so it was the 84th. 2 each.
No, I think it was the 84th.
You're cheating. Last time you won it, you
Marky
cheated.
Hammett fainted throwing it in.
Problem for that is I've erased that from my memory, so it was a no contest there.
Poor Mark.
Okay, so it's 2-2. This is whoever gets this
Okay.
wins.
Yeah.
And what year was the first official Bledisloe Cup match played?
Oh, what was that? 1905. Was it 120?
No, geez, no. 1924, something like that.
It's 100. No.
Closer.
Would it be 101? No. No, because we haven't had 100.
Marshy's been the closest.
We haven't had a 100-year
19
century. Must be 127 or something. 1927 or 26.
Higher.
1930.
Higher.
1932.
Marshy wins.
Yes! The All Blacks are going to retain the Bledisloe Cup. Woo!
Mate, you haven't won anything with Bledisloe written on it for 50 years.
Mate, I've won 4, mate. I've won
Mate,
4
it is
personally.
exciting. It is exciting. It is
Yeah.
this weekend.
Easily the best, the most excitement we've had for the Bledisloe Cup. Like last year, man, we didn't have.
I'm pumped,
any of
mate.
this.
I'm
Oh,
so looking forward to
me
this.
too.
And look, we take the piss out of each other, but we're Anzac brothers.
Always.
Wallabies rugby has turned the corner. This is the most excited I've been about a Bledisloe Cup
Me
in a
too.
very long time.
Me
Australia's
too.
got a chance. All Blacks will love to retain the Bledisloe Cup because it means so much to them. Eden Park, history. It's on, mate. Can't wait. Can't wait. Eh?
Mate, I'm getting a little. I'll get a little ticklish.
Yeah.
I think I just peed myself.
Thank you so much for listening or watching, and a massive thank you to our sponsors, our mates, our partners, Harvey Norman. They've got a huge range of next-gen AI PCs from the world's top brands, Microsoft, HP, Lenovo, Acer, and Asus, all powered by Snapdragon. Enjoy the Bledisloe.